Hymns of the Samaveda, translated by R.T.H. Griffith, 1895, Preface. The Samaveda are Veda of holy songs, third in the usual order of enumeration of the three Vedas, ranks next in sanctity and liturgical importance to the Rig Veda, or Veda of recited praise. Its Samhita, or metrical portion, consists chiefly of hymns to be chanted by the Udgatar priests at the performance of those important sacrifices in which the juice of the soma plant, clarified and mixed with milk and other ingredients, was offered in libation to various deities. Now, if you're not one of the majority of humanity that has issues with milk proteins, and sometimes even if you are, mushrooms and opiates and ephedra and marijuana are things that can be stomached easier with milk. The collection is made up of hymns, portions of hymns, and detached verses, taken mainly from the Rig Veda, transposed and rearranged without reference to their original order, to suit the religious ceremonies in which they were to be employed. Now, I'm not saying that to do these rituals, definitely you would either have to use the blend or you'd have to use some hallucinogenic mushroom. But I'm not saying to do that as part of your own rituals. I'm just saying, this is what we have here. In these compiled hymns, there are frequent variations of more or less importance from the text of the Rig Veda as we now possess it, which variations, although in some cases they are apparently explanatory, seem in others to be older and more original than the readings of the Rig Veda. In singing, the verses are still further altered by prolongation, repetition, and insertion of syllables and various modulations, rests, and other modifications prescribed for the guidance of the officiating priests. In the Ganas, or songbooks, two of these manuals, the Gramag Eya Gana, are congregational, and the Aran Gana, or forest songbook, follow the order of the verses of part 1 of the Samhita, and two others, the Uhagana, the Uyagana of part 2. This part is less disjointed than part 1, and is generally arranged in triplets, whose first verse is often the repetition of a verse that has occurred in part 1. There is no clue to the date of the compilation of the Samaveda hymns, nor has the compiler's name been handed down to us. There are 3 recensions of the text of the Samaveda Samhita. The Kauthuma Saka, our recension, is current in Gujarat, the Jaiminia in the Carnatic, and the Ranayaniya in the Maratha country. A translation by Dr. Stevenson of the Ranayaniya recension are rather a free version of Slayana's paraphrase, was edited by Professor William in 1842. In 1848, Professor Benfrey of Göttingen brought out an excellent edition of the same text with a metrical translation, a complete glossary, and explanation notes. And in 1874 to 1878, Pandit Satyavrata Samasrama of Calcutta published in the Bibliotheca Indica a most meritorious edition of the Samhita according to the same recension, with Slayana's commentary, portions of the songbooks, and other illustrative matter. I have followed Benfrey's text and have made much use of his glossary and notes. Pandit Satyavrata Samasrami's edition also has been of the greatest service to me, to Mr. Venice, principal of the Banaras Sanskrit College. I am indebted for the loan of the college manuscripts of the text and commentary. I repeat the expression of my obligations to those scholars whose works assisted me in my translation of the hymns of the Rig Veda for help in translating the non-Rigvedic hymns of the Samaveda. I am additionally indebted to the late Professor Benfrey and to Professor Ludwig, whose version will be found in his Der Rigveda, Volume 3, page 19 to 25. For further information regarding the Samaveda, Webster's History of Indian Literature, and Max Muller's History of Ancient Sanskrit Literature, or the article on the Veda in Chambers' Encyclopedia, should be consulted. R.T.H. Griffith, Kotagiri, Nilgiri, the 25th of May, 1893. So is that city and province, or is that a country? I don't know all the Indian province names. And we have different listings here. And so we have by, okay, yeah, Kanda, Prapathaka, Arda, or Artha. So that's how we will break this down, is that we will go 3 in, and there's 4 here. So is it, do they name each type of mantra differently according to the type of mantra? Is that why, so we have 4 numbers that we look at. So the Kanda, Prapathaka, Arta is what we will be going into. And some of these Sanskrit hymns do relate to stuff that was worked out as much as 40,000 years ago, particularly when we're talking about the Veda itself. Some stuff represents stuff that was passed through different types of human and may have conveyed information from those periods. Could have been revealed, but it seems to convey stuff from those periods too. Because mainly it's stuff that happened to humans, but earlier races of humans. I don't want to say that humans are different species of humans. I don't like that way of thinking, because as far as we can tell, Homo habilis and all that could have bred with humans. So, it's like what Caucasoid, Negroid, and Asiatic, which also includes Australoid, like somehow it's like somehow before that. But what about, so our ancestors somehow were human, even though we're like, and there's certain traits that develop among humans. Where are we going to break that one off? But anyways, the point is that, these things represent or they include stuff, and where exactly that breaks down, I'm not sure.